Hello everybody, my name is Overqualified and welcome to the long-awaited Fuga tutorial. Let me show you how to make a move like this. Don't mind the extra hit effects, that was just a precaution. I will not show you how to do that. It was just in case the move didn't want to explode. The move does around 96 damage, but here's the miss. Fuga. Now this is very similar to my my projectile tutorial, so I'd recommend you watching that first. It should be around the top right if I recommend it. I'm just saying to watch that first before you watch this because this is a more complicated version of that tutorial. Now I'd recommend watching that like I said, but let's get into it if you've already watched it. So here's the skill builder that I used for Fuga. That's only if it misses. Here's its hit. Now, in the game, in the actual game, if you were to get close to somebody, it will damage them. Yes, it will absolutely do damage to them on impact, regardless of whether there's a projectile or not. But let's actually get into how to make this move. So first off, you're gonna wanna get your sharpshooter animation. Now what I did was I actually animated this part myself, which is not good, but still. The sharpshooter, I just split it right here, and then I move the actual move right here. Now you want to get so once you already have all that, it looks pretty simple without it. It just, and then you'll pamper it with sound effects, which I did. I added the fire ignite, which if I can play it, it was fire ignite too. So that's going to be a major sound effect that you're going to use. This is what you want to rely on. You want to look up fire, and then you want to scroll all the way down to sound. You just want to spam it with these. And then you want to get your effects, which I used elemental blur for this part, and then I used jet mist for the back parts of it, which I just copy and pasted twice, which make it look like this. Obviously I added this little effect just to add a little bit of extra detail. And then you want to get your standard hitbox. Remember, what I did was, instead of making it just a relatively normal hitbox, I made it where it was anchored to the head, which may sound weird at first, but it's because the head doesn't move as much. Anyways, so you want to get your sound effects named, which I used was Fuga. You can look on anywhere in the roblox.com/create marketplace, which I used. And then I used a manga panel, which to get this, you can edit that however you want. And I used a little bit of cam shake. And once you've done all that, you should have a basic, I also used flicker sparks, just to make it look like the move is igniting itself. And once you have all that, you should have at least a basic or normal version of what this looks like. And then I used a quick little charge effect, which looks like this. It's a charging mist effect, but I just turned off the emitter, and I changed the color to a more yellowish color, or orange if you'd say that. So it looks like this. And then I added another cam shake, which is a little larger and longer. And then you want to get to your, in my other video I showed how to do projectiles, so you'd want to make a projectile. And this is the projectile that'll do almost all of the damage. Do the pushback, make it as large as you want because it's a huge move. I set the ragdoll to 10 seconds, and I made it where it launches them high in the air. I made it where it destroys trees, trash cans, and benches. I also added the burn effect because why not? You don't have to. There is no on miss, you don't need to add that. Now for the branches, you want to add your visual effects, which this is what my visual effect looks like. I added these 3 effects, which makes it look like this, and it looks really good up close. That's it. And then you want to get your explode effect, which looks like this. You don't need this, by the way. That was just a major precaution. And then you want to go back to your default. You want to go to your standard, because at the moment, for some reason, they explode if you don't hit anybody. I mean, yeah, if you hit somebody, it won't do the explode. A little bit similar with the normal, which is why it fizzles out. You just want to add a hit branch, go to hit 1, and then you want to copy paste your explode effect to your hit 1, and it'll look pretty normal. And yeah, you should at least, once that this is a quick tutorial. I can do a more extensive one later on if you guys really want that, going in depth about everything. This is just a quick recap of making exactly what I made, because this is a really complex move, and once I learn how to do even more with it, I will. But at the moment, this is just how you make a quick and easy Fuga move. This is just mainly based off of the projectile tutorial that I taught you guys in my other video, which I do have linked now. Just make sure to watch that first, and once you've got a basic understanding, because I tried to explain it as easy as I could, this is pretty much how you do it after you've already learned how to make projectiles. Remember, with the projectiles, you want to go to your main, go to projectile, turn it on, set the projectile in as far as you physically can. I didn't make it too far because I didn't want to make it annoyingly bad. This should be far enough for the entire map, and once it reaches that, it will explode. I set the speed to 276, and I set the homing to 097. Victim targeting, I didn't really worry about that. Placement, I also made sure this is all the same. And yeah, it's a pretty simple tutorial because I've already taught you guys projectiles, which, like I said, you guys can go watch, and once you do, you should basically be able to make this move. I added another hitbox here, which all it does is if you're near the person when it explodes, it will push you back and do damage, along with the fact that it will ragdoll you. I made sure to turn on use look direction, so to launch them towards the move. And speaking of which, I didn't really tell you guys, but there is the reason why this is here is because this is a tick damage move. It's just if you're too close to the person. It does 1 damage, and it's looped until the explosion. It has a hit interval of 0.03. The re-hit cooldown is the same as usual, 0.15. I made sure you could be hit multiple times. And yeah, I just made it where it bypasses everything except for iframes. That's pretty much it, honestly. Yep, I made sure this is as quick as possible. I can go more in depth in it, which I already have with the projectile tutorial, but if you want me to go even further with manga panel stuff, like cam shake tutorials, other than that, you can just ask me in the comments and I got you. I'll just make those in like one big video teaching you effects as a whole. I'll just show you all of these and how to use them. But until then, have a nice day, guys, and enjoy your Fuga move.